In this video, we're diving into Genesis 2. Not only does the book of Genesis describe the creation of humankind, it also introduces some powerful themes that have shaped everything from gender equality to work-life balance, and even social justice and economic policies. We'll focus especially on two key elements: the creation of woman and the vital significance of the seventh day of rest. Together, these principles offer a rich foundation for understanding our roles in society, work, and family. Let's explore how these ancient ideas continue to impact the world today. In Genesis 2, we get a more personal account of the creation of humankind. Unlike Genesis 1, which paints a broad picture of the universe's creation, Genesis 2 zooms in on Adam and Eve, the first human beings. God forms Adam from the dust of the ground, places him in the Garden of Eden, and tasks him with tending to the garden. But something is still missing. God sees that it is not good for man to be alone, so he creates woman from Adam's rib, forming Eve as a companion, equal to Adam, to share in the work and the mission of caring for creation. The creation of woman is key here. Eve is not inferior to Adam. She's created to be his partner, made from his side, to walk beside him in mutual partnership. Together they are meant to reflect God's image in the world, caring for the earth and its creatures. Now let's talk about something deeply significant in Genesis 2. The seventh day. After creating the world and all its inhabitants, God rests on the seventh day. But this is not because God is tired. He's setting a pattern for humanity. The seventh day of rest is a sacred moment in creation. In Genesis 2, verses 2 to 3, it says, "By the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done." So, what's the significance of the seventh day rest in Genesis 2? This moment establishes a fundamental principle that has had profound effects on society, labor laws, and social justice throughout history. The seventh day rest is a divine institution that lays the foundation for a balanced life. It tells us that work is important, but rest is equally essential. In modern society, the principle of a Sabbath rest has had a profound influence on work-life balance. For centuries, societies have recognized the importance of taking time to rest, not just to recharge physically, but to connect spiritually and emotionally. In fact, many of the labor laws we have today, such as weekends, vacation time, and protected time off, are based on this biblical principle of rest. God's rest is a reminder that human beings need to slow down, reflect, and renew themselves regularly. And this idea has shaped how we approach everything from vacation policies to the fight for workers' rights. Whether it's regulated work hours or the right to time off, the principle of Sabbath has been a cornerstone in the development of labor rights and the pursuit of fair treatment for workers. The seventh day rest is also about justice. It's about recognizing that all of creation, humans, animals, and the land itself, needs a time of renewal. It challenges us to think about social justice in a broader sense. When God commands rest, he's not just thinking about individual well-being. He's setting up a society-wide rhythm where all people, regardless of their status, are entitled to moments of renewal. This has been a driving force behind civil rights movements and policies that ensure rest, healthcare, and equitable treatment for everyone, especially marginalized communities. In the fight for social equity, the idea that everyone deserves rest and renewal is fundamental to advocating for workers' rights, mental health, and fair treatment in the workplace. Now let's shift gears and look back at the creation of woman in Genesis 2. The fact that Eve is created from Adam's side and not from his foot or his head tells us a lot about God's design for equality and partnership. From the very beginning, God establishes gender equality. Adam and Eve are not in competition, but are meant to be co-workers, equal partners in God's mission to care for creation. This is an incredibly revolutionary idea for the time, as it affirms that women are equal to men in worth, value, and responsibility. Genesis 2 sets the stage for gender equality, which has influenced social movements advocating for women's rights, equal pay, and female leadership across all sectors. Furthermore, the creation of woman as an equal partner in God's mission has had a lasting impact on modern workplaces. It's led to a growing understanding that men and women should have equal opportunities in the workplace. whether it's in leadership, entrepreneurship, or economic decision-making. The principles of collaboration and shared responsibility from Genesis 2 inform modern practices of gender equality in the workforce and business leadership. Genesis 2 also introduces the idea of stewardship, that humanity's primary role is to care for the earth. This idea of responsible stewardship is critical to modern movements for sustainable development, eco-friendly business practices, and green finance. The biblical concept that we are to care for the earth shapes economic policies that prioritize environmental protection and sustainability. This idea aligns with the growing emphasis on eco-conscious investing, corporate responsibility, and creating a sustainable future for generations to come. To wrap up, Genesis 2 teaches us two profound lessons: the importance of rest and the equality of men and women. The seventh-day rest sets a divine precedent for work-life balance, social justice, and mental health, while the creation of woman shows us the value of gender equality and partnership. These principles continue to shape the way we view work, family, justice, and society today. From labor rights to gender equality to sustainable economic practices, the lessons of Genesis 2 are more relevant than ever.